a Pete Primeau fan.
Thank you for having me.
Your fans are like...
What an honor to be here, Pete. You're a legend. You're a rock star.
I'm a legend in my own mind, said my wife.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
I'm Mr. Selling from the Heart. What's this guy, Larry Levine, going to teach me about selling from the heart?
You are one of the most generous and authentic people around. And I think that's why you and your show are so attractive to people.
Welcome to the Pete Primeau Show. It is episode 279. Facebook made me buy a mattress. We're here with my friend Ali Thompson. Let us pay the bills first, and then we will get to your questions. We are live. It's Memorial Day, and we are live. I hope everyone is so busy they cannot be on here, but if you are in between ups and you have questions, ask away because we are live. Anyway, let's pay the bills. If you haven't bought my book, Sell a Million, what are you waiting for? This is not a sales book. It's a marketing and business book. Best compliment I ever got on this book was from my good friend, Doug Stewart. He said, just take the words furniture and mattress out of it. It's just a great marketing and a great business book. If you want a sales book, I've got one of those. As a matter of fact, I'm super proud of this book. Took me 43 years to learn what's in here. And then I added 10 more of my friends. Justin Trumbo, Steve Carnes, Mel Opp, Brent Batterman, Keith Castanguy, Scott Vaughn, Randy Thompson, the adjustable bed guru, Chris Tahaney, Jeff Janakovo, and Mark Klingenberg. Guys, gals, if you have to do a Saturday morning sales meeting once every week and you want a playbook, here's your playbook right here for 3 years worth of sales meetings for under $20. It is one of the best, craziest deals you'll ever get. And from the minute your teammates and your salespeople start to read the book, literally within 5 minutes, they will be selling more. Not because we've radically altered their skill set. That takes more time. And we'll do that as we get through the book. But because we're going to change their mindset like right now in the first few hundred words. So grab that book. Like I said, it's under $20 on Amazon, and all of my friends are in here. I just got a crazy compliment from someone. Bought the book, watched the show, loved it, got to the part about there's a fortune, there's cash under your bed. And that was written by the adjustable bed guru, Randy Thompson. And Randy Thompson has a free seminar that he offers in the book. So you buy this book for under $20 and you get a seminar that's worth a few $100s and really worth millions to you if you implement it. So grab the book, and thank you everyone who reads it. If you get stuck somewhere in that book and you have a question and you want to call me, there's my cell number. Chris Stone, my great producer, just put it up on the show. And for those of you who are listening, my cell is 419-560-3169. Absolutely free phone call. I'm not going to sit there and try to put you in a coaching program. I don't have a coaching program. Probably should, but I don't. Not right now, at least. Guys and gals, let's get started, but I've got just a couple things I got to share with you. Mattress Industry Network group is a great free Facebook group, over 3,200 strong, might be 3,300 strong now. If you want to learn how to build, market, sell, and succeed in the mattress industry, this is the place to be. Just hit that QR code that you see there and join the group. Everybody's in here, from store owners across the country, and you've got VPs of sales, you have owners of manufacturing companies, you have sales pros that work the retail floor, you have sales reps, you have everybody and anybody in the industry. So join the group. It's a great group. And thank you, Steve and Greg, for sponsoring the Pete Primeau Show. We appreciate you more than you know, and we appreciate everything you guys do for the industry. Also, you need to get on board with this new book that my friend Chris Tahaney's writing. It's about outcomes. Hey, Steve Hauk, I love you too. Steve Hauk says, good morning, Pete Primeau. Love you, sir. I love you too, Steve. Thanks for being here on a busy Memorial Day. For those of you who have sales pros that work the retail floor and they have done something outstanding, they've gotten an outstanding result from a customer that's, waking up happy and pain-free and probably going to live longer and have less stress because they are getting a great night's sleep and they have a great outcome. Let's get those sent over to Chris at this email, mattressrsastories@gmail.com. That's just the way it sounds. mattressrsastories@gmail.com. Send it over to Chris. It doesn't have to be written like Gone with the Wind. It just needs to be written up, sent to Chris. Chris is a fabulous writer, and he'll write it up. He'll punctuate it. He'll dress it up, and then he'll send it back to you for your final approval. And it might make the cut into the book. We are raising the bar, folks, in the industry. So any of you, whether it's you yourself or somebody else, hey, Fawad Zavari from Exclusive Furniture in Houston, Texas. Good morning, all. Have a great Memorial Day sale and sales. Yes, everybody finished strong today. Wishing you blessings. Everybody's worked so hard, and it's Memorial Day, so let's go get it, guys. Also, if you are in the mattress business and there is more to life than just being a slave to your business, that you want a business that actually works for you, join Mattress Retailer Toolkit. It's a great group. I belong to it. Everybody can come on in. If you are a single store owner, a multi-store owner, or if you're a furniture retailer, if you're an industry influencer, if you're an industry leader, if you're a factory rep like me, join this group. It's a great group. You're going to learn so much about the business. Mike Capuzzi and Jeff Giannakovo have done a great job with this group. I think it's under $100 a month still. Hit that QR code and I'll see you inside the group. It's an absolutely fantastic group. And thank you, Jeff and Mike, for all you do for our industry. Without further ado, Ali, welcome to the show.
Hi, Pete. How are you?
I'm better than I deserve, but I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here.
Everybody that's watching, that's ever been on the show, you guys know that, we don't rehearse anything. We have no discussions prior to this show. That's like kind of a rule. And so I do need to say this, and I might end up embarrassing Ali, but I watched her speak at many different marketing events before I actually met her. And every time I heard Ali speak, she never answers a question, number one. She always asks 2 or 3 questions when she gets a question, because she's got a computer that does not stop. And she wants to give the right information. And so she's going to ask clarifying questions. And, we always hear that term, the smartest person in the room. She's oftentimes the smartest person in the room. And if she's not, she's in the top 2 or 3. She is first and foremost a great business owner, a marketer extraordinaire. And what she's going to share with you today about organic social media and Facebook is going to be absolutely priceless. But any marketing question that you have, really almost any business question you have, Ali will be able to answer it and answer it so much better than I ever could. It's not even funny. So, guys, gals, we are live. So, ask your questions and Ali will answer them, and we're going to get started. So,
well, first of all,
lot of people.
That was very sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome. I had to say that. You're just rarefied air, Ali. You really are. And our group, instead of me saying it.
Yeah.
That group.
Yes.
The Gold Crown group. There's a lot of smart people in there. There's no dummies. If you're a dummy, you don't get admitted.
Yeah, you're not going. You don't even know what you're doing.
Pete Lillo will not cash your check.
Exactly.
They'll just pass. So, no dummies in the group. Everyone's super smart, and she's among the smartest. So,
you
guys are
that's very sweet. Thank you.
You guys are in for an absolute treat. So, what got you started in business, Ali? I don't know your origin story at all.
Oh yeah. So I was always entrepreneurial as a kid. There were no entrepreneurs in my family whatsoever. So I didn't even really know what the word entrepreneur meant. I was just always like, what if I grow maple trees and sell them to people? I didn't know. I was just like, I always wanted to sell something. So a lot of people around me told me that, get your head out of the clouds, just get a good job, you'll be fine. You don't need to be doing all this stuff. And when I met my husband, before we even started dating, he was like, you and I should start a business together. And I was like, what? He was the first person to ever validate my feelings that I wanted to own a business. So we looked around and we had access to a lot of scrap wood. And I had always been in animal industries. I worked at a veterinarian. I worked for 2 pet stores. So we started manufacturing toys for house rabbits. And we actually fed our family for the better part of 20 years selling toys to people who owned house rabbits. And that's how we got started. A few years into that, I realized I don't actually know how to sell anything. I have a product. I know there's customers out there. I don't know what that leap is between the two. How do I get to the customers? And I had not really heard of marketing. And I was reading books like Who Moved My Cheese and Fish, business books. And I'm like, none of this is telling me how to sell anything. And one day I was at Office Max, back when we had an Office Max, and I saw this book, Multiple Streams of Internet Income. It's actually on my shelf right there, Multiple Streams of Internet Income. And I opened it up, and this information coming out of this book, I had never, it lit up my brain in 20 different ways. And I spent my last $20 on that book, took it home, had to tell my husband, I spent our last $20 on this book. He's like, hey, if it's going to help, go for it. Just take some time and read it. So he's watching the kids and I'm reading the book. And, that's when I was introduced to marketing. I started finding other books by marketers. I found Dan Kennedy, joined the Dan Kennedy universe, and really just ate up as much information as I could about marketing and business. So we had the rabbit toy business for a very long time. But my desire has always been to teach. And so over the years, I've done different levels of speaking and teaching and coaching and helping other businesses. And for the last 7 years, that's been my focus, is teaching and helping other businesses. And just recently, we started adding done for you services where we actually do your Facebook marketing for you. So that's my history. Facebook specifically, I had a mentor that said, hey, I think that you'd be good at social media marketing. And I thought it was stupid. Back in 2010, I'm like, nobody buys anything off of Facebook. That doesn't make any sense. But he thought I'd be good at it. So he paid my way to go to a social media conference. I went, the fireworks went off in my head again. And I'm like, Facebook is awesome. Facebook is really, really amazing. And I've been pretty much, even though I have a well-rounded marketing education, I've been known as the Facebook lady for a very long time. So I've decided to lean into it. And so Facebook is what I love to talk about. It's what I talk about 90% of the time when somebody, is asking for help in their business. We start with Facebook.
Awesome. I did not know that. I know that we ended up meeting at Dan Kennedy events.
Yeah, it was probably Dan Crick's event. Dan Crick's is the one that sent me to Baltimore for the social media.
Oh,
event.
wow.
Yeah, he was like, Ali, I think this will work well with you. He's like, I'll pay for your ticket. I'd like you to go. So,
wow. Dan never paid for anything for me.
I'm special, Pete.
Yes, you are. I absolutely love Dan, and there's the back of my head, and Ali is up in the front.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing the same shirt. That's
we can pick you out pretty easy.
That's hilarious. That is Gold Crown Mastermind right there.
Yep.
That is
smart people.
That is a phenomenal group, guys and gals. We meet 2 to 3 times a year, and it's a great group. If you guys have any questions about joining that group, just give me a call at 419-560-3169. We can always use good, smart people in that group. I love this particular mastermind. It's really diverse, and that's so important. And I got a little confession to make here. So, a lot of times I don't have my hot seat stuff prepared because I'm just running 100 miles an hour. And so I have a book, and all of my Chad Fisher says, Happy Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day to you, Chad. What is the other one? Lovely shirt. Royal, you're allowed to say that because you are a paying customer and I appreciate your business. So you want to make comments about my shirt, you go right ahead. And Lovely's, I'll take it. I've been called a lot worse. And my shirts have been called a lot worse, my friend. What was I talking about? Squirrel.
Yeah. When it's time for your hot seat at Mastermind.
My hot seat. Yeah. So I start writing my ideas down, and then, so I keep 3 things going at the Mastermind. One is I'm developing my hot seat. 2 is I'm just making general notes for myself. And 3, and you know this from experience, that I often won't even ask you a question, but then I'll give you a piece of paper with everything on it. I try to make notes and for the person that's in the hot seat. But I swear this group is so good. I mean, this is evolving into a commercial for Gold Crown Mastermind.
Should be sponsoring this episode.
Yeah. So I get so much information and the wheels start turning so fast that by the time it's ready for me to go to my hot seat, I've already gotten so much value. I could really skip the hot seat and walk out of there with like a dozen or 2 dozen ideas that I feel like I need to implement. Does that ever happen to you that way?
I always leave, because the biggest answer you're looking for is not in your hot seat. Because when you have people giving you ideas, it's difficult to absorb the information that's being thrown at you, because whether we know that we need to be open and looking for new ideas, but it's easy to become defensive and defend your ideas and defend the way that you're doing things. And so when you're up in front of everybody, you have everything is running out, coming at you real hot and heavy. But when you're not in the hot seat and you're watching somebody else, you can start to get introspective of like, am I doing that? Is that something I should be paying attention to? Oh, that's something I should grab that and I should do that in my business. So it's almost a little easier to absorb the information when you're not in a hot seat. Now, for me, I need my hot seat as soon as possible. One time I had to wait till the second day because somebody wasn't going to be there the first day and they wanted to see my hot seat. And I just about exploded. I tell that to Ron every time. I'm like, if I don't get to go, I will explode. Because I can't wait to talk about what I'm going to talk about. And sometimes I don't even have it well formed either, but I have a strategy behind it too. I think if I do my hot seat first, then everybody's going to be thinking about what I asked for the next 2 days. So if I'm early, they're still thinking about me. Second day, oh, that thing Ali said, oh, I should tell Ali about that. I wasn't thinking that maybe I have a contact for her. So I part strategy and part just like, I can't wait. I get so excited. My hand is up first. Like Ron's like, who'd like to go next? I'm like, I'll take another turn. Like, put me in, coach. I'm ready to go.
I have to say that my strategy of going late worked out well at the last mastermind.
Yes, it did. I told Anthony to go on the first day. I'm like, just go today. Tomorrow will be fine. And so he went the first day, and then the second day when we had our special guest, he came up to me and he's like, great idea. Wait until, getting it done day one, Ali. If I would have waited.
Two things happened. Like when Dan Kennedy walked into the room.
Yeah.
This hushed reverence.
Yes.
It wasn't like nobody ran up to ask him for an autograph, because I think most of us have his autograph already.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just like complete awe and reverence. I was like,
oh my gosh. And then I had to tell Willow, my daughter was there with me. I'm like, that's Dan Kennedy. And she's like, oh, I know. And I'm like, well, I didn't know if you knew. like that's the guy.
Yeah. That was awesome. And what surprised me about myself is I thought I was going to be really, really nervous and not even able to talk, because, Dan's there, and me and Dan are just talking like old friends. And I'm like, this guy's amazing.
Yeah, Willow was surprised by that as well. She's like, he's just a guy. I thought he'd be scary or mean or something. And she's like, no, he was very, very nice. She learned a lot from him as well, which I was really excited about.
Yeah. He is special. So let us start with your specialty is organic social media, and specifically Facebook. When you look at some of the things that you see, have you ever taken a peek at stuff that we do in the mattress industry on Facebook and said, I would do that differently?
I have not specifically looked at mattress companies. However, I can almost guarantee you that I know exactly what it is you guys are posting. So my guess is, and correct me if I'm wrong, that there are a bunch of flyers being posted with your sales for the week or the Memorial Day sales.
That's true.
There's probably big pictures of the showroom, like standing back, and big empty showroom full of mattresses, and probably pictures of the front of your building. So is there anything that I'm missing there?
No, you pretty much nailed it.
This is typical for most small businesses. If I look at the local coffee shop, they're doing the same thing. If I look at the local dentist, they're doing the same thing. Pretty much everybody is doing the same kind of content. And unfortunately, that is the exact kind of content that gets no engagement, no interest, no traction on Facebook. You have to think about Facebook as you have to think, when you think of Facebook, you have to think about the algorithm first, right? We need to think about feeding the algorithm and what the algorithm loves. And the good news is the algorithm and your audience want the same thing. The people who are actually going to interact with your posts are what is informing the algorithm of whether or not your posts get distributed. So if you're posting those flyer posts, you probably all have this experience. You post a flyer, you want everybody to see it, but you look at the view counter on the bottom right-hand corner, and you're lucky if it gets distributed to 50 people. Maybe you have 1,000 followers. You're lucky if 50 people see that flyer. And it's frustrating because you think, oh my gosh, what's the whole point of social media if Facebook's not actually going to show my posts? And the reason why Facebook doesn't show the posts is because the last 28 times you posted a flyer like that, the audience did not engage with that post. They voted with their engagement to say, nah, I don't find this interesting. So they scroll right on by your post, And then Facebook's like, oh, wow, this post you made is not interesting. So we're going to shelve it. We're going to kind of put it off to the side and we're going to stop distributing it. Well, when you do that enough times, you actually train the algorithm to completely ignore you. So the algorithm tests it with smaller and smaller and smaller groups of people, because the algorithm, Facebook's job, is to make sure that people are seeing things that are interesting to them in their newsfeed. My cousin getting married is interesting. What's happening in the news is interesting to me. If you're posting a flyer and it's hard to read, I don't feel like it speaks to me, I feel like I'm being advertised to, and who likes to see an ad? Who's like so excited to open Facebook and see an ad? So when it's something that we don't find interesting, we scroll right on by. Facebook notices that. And so Facebook says, in order to protect its own users and to make sure the maximum amount of people have the best experience possible, we're not going to show that post to anybody. So then what happens is the business owner says, oh no, Facebook is pay to play, so I have to boost this post in order to force Facebook to show it to people. And where they get it backwards is they think that Facebook is punishing them. Or the business model is like Facebook won't show anybody anything, so it forces you to pay. But that's not true. The model is give users a good experience. So even when you go in and boost a post that is not getting any traction with the algorithm, you're going to pay more for the views that you get on that post, and it's still not going to work. So force feeding your bad content down people's throats because you paid for the ad is not going to make them respond any better. So you're just making more people see your bad content. Boosting will never turn bad content into good content. It's only going to just flush money down the toilet and make people see bad content. So you really need to pay attention to the kind of content you are producing, because if your content sucks, it's not going anywhere. And you might as well not post to Facebook at all. I tell people this all the time. If you're not going to do Facebook posting using the correct strategies that actually work on Facebook, just save your time and don't bother posting at all, because nobody's going to see what you post if you are not working with the algorithm and producing content that your followers want to see.
Wow. You said a lot. So there's two mistakes being done at the same time. This, I'm not getting engagement, I just need to boost this without any correction in trajectory of information that is being shared. And you were very blunt with how you said it. So Dan's rubbing off on you.
I don't like sugarcoating it, because, if I tell you, like, and I see a lot of social media managers do this, they're like, oh, okay, well, maybe we'll boost it a little bit, and I'll post more for you. And, they're talking about times a day and hashtags and all. And I'm like, none of that's, if you're not connecting with the audience, none of that stuff matters. So yeah, I don't believe in sugarcoating it, because I don't want you wasting your time or your money. And I want to see you actually get a good result from this platform, which you can.
And that's why Allie's here, because she cares. Krista Price, right after you said your three things that we're doing because everybody does it, Krista Price said, nailed it.
Yeah. I had a feeling.
Yeah. So we don't want to force feed by just boosting a bad post. Hey, Patrick Tinney, thank you. My friend from Canada who's written 4 great sales books. Patrick, love you. And thank you for being here, brother. So how do we start to correct this? So I'm going to take your word for it, Ali. I'm not going to boost a bad post anymore. I need to create a different post. I need to create a post that will get real engagement. How do I do that?
Okay, so there's a couple of things that we need to do in order to get the algorithm and our audience on our side. And these are some really easy ways to start. Number one, there should be 80 to 90% of the time, there should be a person in your photo. right? When you're taking a photo of your store, of a product, focus in on a product and take a selfie with it. Selfies stop the scroll. When people are scrolling through and they see a face, they tend to slow down and check it out. When they see product out of context, just rows and rows and rows of mattresses, that can often make them scroll on by. So selfie with the product is going to help you a lot. Stay away from Canva templates and flyers. They're just not good. They don't stop the scroll. They look like ads. So no Canva templates, no flyers. 90 to 95% of the time, it should be a picture of something real in person, and usually with a person in the post. So that's the visual side of things. I like doing things like pointing, like it's a selfie of you like with a new mattress line that you just started carrying a new mattress line, and you take a selfie with the mattress and you're pointing at it, or you're like, wow, and you're having some expression instead of just, you want to at least smile. Do something that makes people see a feeling and an expression on your face. So that's the visual side. When it comes to the post itself, people want to rush to the sale. Everybody's in a hurry. Like, here's my phone number. Here's my address. Here's my email. Here's the exact sales that I have. Here's the prices of everything. And I come from, I've been coaching product-based businesses for a long time. So I understand the idea of, I have a product, I just want the person to buy the product. And what we have found is when you stop selling and start connecting, people will buy the product. When you are overtly salesy, it's a turnoff. And I call it the lean in and lean out, right? When you're leaning in and saying, buy this pen, buy this pen, buy this pen, buy this pen. I want you to buy this pen. Will you buy this pen? Please buy this pen. Just call me if you want to buy a pen. When you're leaning in, it forces your prospect to lean back and say, whoa, like, get out of my space. You're being too aggressive. And especially on social media, people are there to be social, and that's very antisocial behavior on a social platform. So instead, what we want to do is we want to lean back and invite people in. So talking about why you're excited about a new line of mattress, talking about a customer story. You were talking when you were doing the sponsorships at the beginning, that RSA, I'm not quite sure what that is, but you were asking people to share a story about how a mattress changed somebody's life. Those are the kinds of things that your audience wants to hear about. So telling stories, answering frequently asked questions, talking about the coffee you drink when you're starting your day. Everything should have a business angle. So don't talk about the ham and cheese sandwich you had for lunch yesterday on your day off, unless you're going to tie it back to the business some way, but not in a salesy way. So we're not being so personal that they know all of our daily habits and, the fight that we had with our spouse last night. But we don't want to be so business that we're like a carnival barker and a promo hound, and you're just pushing for the sale. You want to keep your posts on the subject of your business while not feeling pushy or salesy at all. So again, stories about your customers, answering frequently asked questions like, hey, we just had a customer come in and they asked us X. And I thought, I bet other people have that same question. So here's the answer to that question. You can do behind the scenes. This is what it looks like to unload the truck. This is like, we just got these new shipments and we're super excited about these brands that are on this truck. You tell customer stories, product stories, affinity posts, which are, fun posts about sleeping, mattresses, like jokes and having a good time about that. You could do featuring your staff members and their stories and what they like about working there. So it's letting people get to know you, like you, and trust you through your Facebook posts so that they're leaning in. And maybe they're not ready for a mattress today, but when they know who you are, they know who your wife is, they know that your kids help out on the weekends, they know your staff member, Joe over here, just had a new baby. They're familiar with the lines that you're bringing in. They've heard XYZ story, and they're storing all that data. And now it comes time for them to buy a mattress. Are they going to grab the newspaper and look for mattress flyers? Or are they going to say, I'm going to XYZ mattress store because I know them, right? We like to do business with people that we know, people that we like, and people that we trust. And when all other variables look the same, because I got to tell you guys, from my end as a consumer, to me, every mattress store is the same. From my perspective as a consumer, I have no way of differentiating and knowing whether or not this one is better than that one. But if I'm connecting with somebody on Facebook and I'm seeing them talk about, their how they got started, stories about how they got started and the gratitude that they have and what it's like living in that town and why they love serving that town. When I see those kinds of posts and it comes time to buy the mattress, now that choice is weighted. It's weighted towards the person I actually know versus all what essentially to me looks exactly the same.
I said in my post that this was going to be a masterclass, and that's the understatement of the year. I've already filled this out. It was completely blank. Now I'm on my second one. I love this idea of the origin story. I really do. You glossed over that so fast, and I think it's so powerful.
Yeah. So the origin story, just real quick on that, that's what I call a jackpot post. There are a handful of posts that you can make that the story is just so good that people, it makes you human. They connect with you. It makes it viral within your community. You don't have to go viral to the whole country. You need your community to know who you are. And when you tell those origin stories, so I did one like this for my sister. My sister owns a Linex franchise, and Linex does spray on bed liners. She's out by you guys. I'm not sure where you're at, Pete, but she's in, now I forget. She's over there near Twinsburg, Hudson area.
Oh, she's further over than me. I'm in West Park.
Okay. So she has a spray on bed liner franchise, and we did a post for her where she talked about why she bought the business, because she remembered growing up as a kid, our dad always had a truck. And, when you spent time with dad, you spent time in the truck. And our dad passed away, 15 years ago now. And, for her, it was the nostalgia. And she bought this company, and COVID happened at the same time. Supply chain issues happened. She had to move locations, all these struggles she went through. But at the end, she's like, but here we are 5 years later. We've made it this far. We're growing. We're so grateful for the community to support us. We're grateful for the opportunity that we had. I'm grateful to be able to work with trucks and get that reminder of my dad every day. And we turned it into just a heartfelt story of why she bought that franchise, what has happened since she bought it, and her gratitude, which I love leaning on gratitude at the end. And that post just absolutely blew up. She had people personally messaging her saying, oh my gosh, this is amazing. We had so many shares. She had people calling her. She had people that she knew at, she went into a local bar, and some guys that she knew was there. He's like, oh my gosh, I read your story. It was so great. So telling those real human stories instead of mattresses 50% off, everybody can say that, but nobody can tell your story the way that you can tell your story. So yeah, that origin story is one of the jackpot posts that I like to use to, and you mentioned, I do organic, but that's one that I actually put money behind because it works so well. We can run that as an ad and people lean in and they just love it. They absolutely love that kind of content.
One of my sponsors is asking a question, so no pressure, Ali. It better be
no
a good
problem.
answer.
I love questions.
Steve Hauk asks, quick question. How do we avoid being so receptive?
I think he means repetitive.
Repetitive. Yes. How many selfies are too many selfies? I know I get annoyed seeing the same person over and over. How do you recommend we keep it unique?
Okay. So first of all, it could be selfies of you, but it can also be pictures of staff. It doesn't always have to be you. It can be customers. It can be staff members. I'm saying put a human face in the picture. Second of all, you can do different backgrounds, different locations, etc. So you can always change it up every day. Think of like, what can I take a selfie in front of? Like, what do I have here that I can take a selfie in front of? Yesterday, I posted a selfie of myself with my cat sitting on my chest, and he's like most of my face covered up, and you can just barely see my face poking above him. So just find fun, different ways to take selfies. But third of all, what you think is repetitive is not necessarily repetitive to the audience on the other side. So if you're seeing somebody's selfie over and over again, one, I'm guessing that you don't like the message that's attached to it. They're not telling a story. They're not saying anything different. It's just a family member that's constantly like, selfie with no context, right? We're not going to do that. We're going to tell stories. We're going to add value. We're going to do all of that good stuff. I have a client that says the more selfies I take, the more I sell. So I just keep taking more selfies. We also think that our marketing is repetitive when the audience may only be seeing 10 or 20% of what we're producing. So a very active person on your profile, so somebody who's like really like your family members, if you're posting about your store, they want to be supportive, they're engaging with everything you put out there and they're loving it, right? They're probably going to see every single post that you make. Versus somebody who saw one of your jackpot posts and thought that was great. Maybe they saw a couple of other posts, didn't actually engage, but they read it. Facebook knows the difference between a hyper user, somebody that's super into you, and a casual user, somebody who's, engaging sometimes. And it will actually distribute your better content to the casual people and less of your ho-hum type content. Right? Not every post is going to be a jackpot. I call it a roller coaster. It's up, it's down, it's around. You never can predict exactly what's going to happen with each individual post, but we think that they're going to get tired way before they think they're going to get tired of it. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. If you get to the limit of too many selfies, you're already making more money, and that's just a different problem to solve. And I would not worry too much about that at all. And like I said, you can take pictures of other types of people. It's a human face that helps add context to these pictures. So just take as many as you can.
That's a great answer, Steve. You should know that I will get to Nicholas in a second. There's 1 to 2% of the American population in the mattress market at a given point in time. So it's rotating. We also know that most mattress customers come in and out of the market 3 or 4 times before they finally get serious and buy. Why? Because the roof leaks, the kids need braces, the car breaks down, life happens. And then there is an event. And usually the event is moving to a new home. The event could be a divorce, of course, moving to a new home is tied directly to that. Going on vacation, you haven't been apart from your mattress. It's gradually lost support. It's gradually lost comfort. But now you go on a newer mattress, come back to your old mattress, your dissatisfaction level goes through the roof. So that is, 2 to 3 minute life cycle of the customer. So bear in mind that your market is rotating in and out constantly. So I think that's
they're not seeing everything you're putting out.
Yeah.
They're not. You might be seeing a lot of it from your friends and family, but I can almost guarantee you're not seeing too much selfie content from a business that is also attaching stories to those selfies. And if they don't like it, that's okay. They'll start to ignore it, and then they'll just see the better posts, right? They'll just see the jackpot posts when they come out. So Facebook is great at saying this person is no longer as interested in your content. We're just going to start showing them less. It doesn't mean zero. It just means they're going to see less. So Facebook will throttle that for you per each user.
Getting a lot of feedback. Nicholas at Dover Mattress in Alabama. Do you think TikTok and YouTube have the same strategy? That's
so I would love.
Interesting question.
I would love to dig into that question
Dig
more if I was able to actually ask Nicola or who is this? Oh, Dover Mattress. If I was able to ask them more questions.
It's Nicholas. Go ahead and ask him a
Nicholas.
question. There'll be a little bit of a lag, but he should be able to respond.
Well,
to
I
you.
guess I would say, what strategy are you talking about? Are you talking about an ad strategy? Are you talking about a short form video strategy? Are you talking about short form versus long form? The thing that I would say is that when you're a local business, the most powerful tool of all the social media platforms, because we got Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, those are the big ones, Threads, and a little bit of X, right? So we have all of these big platforms, all these social media platforms. Where should you be? As a small business owner, where should you be? And time again, this is not true for everybody. Pete is better off on LinkedIn. That's a better match for him. But if you are a local business that serves a local clientele, your local people are more concentrated on Facebook than they are any other platform. Facebook knows how to distribute locally. We can boost things locally. Because I'm not against boosting. I'm not against ads. Like, I actually do ads for clients. But we can boost locally. There are local Facebook groups that we can take advantage of. Your network on Facebook tends to be a lot more locally. So on Instagram, I follow goldfish accounts because I like fancy goldfish, right? I think they're really, really cool. I want to see cute pictures of it. So the people who I follow and who follow me on TikTok have nothing to do with my local area, on Instagram or TikTok, have nothing to do with my local area. But my friends and family are connected with me on Facebook. So my mom is on Facebook. My kids are on Facebook. My aunts, my uncles, people I went to high school with, people who live down the street from me. My network, my personal network of people who I know personally are on Facebook. So if somebody shares your post on Instagram, like if there's a share messages or whatever, you don't even have that option on Instagram. But let's say you could share a post on Instagram, it would go out to people all over the country and with no local focus at all. If I share something on my page, like 50% of people that I'm connected with on Facebook are in this local area. So your shares have a lot more bang for their buck. You have the Facebook groups. You can run ads locally, which you can technically on TikTok and YouTube. I would only use if you're running ads and can target your local area. I would not recommend them organically at all. Because again, who cares if you go viral? If somebody in California thinks that your video was fantastic and you're in Cleveland, Ohio, that's not helping you sell a mattress. So if you're going to put energy into anything, Facebook.
Wow. Cool. Chris, did Nicholas get back with us with anything? No. Nicholas, I heard her response. Thanks. Okay.
Perfect.
Good, Nicholas. How often should we post?
Daily. If you're going to feed the algorithm. So if you're not going to have, if you're not going to run ads, so there are two kind of directions you can go here. If you're willing to spend money, you can post 3 or 4 times a month, 3, 4, 5 times a month, and we can put ad money behind it. Those ads are going to be very, very good, right? Those posts are going to be things that, and that's what I help my clients with, how to make a good post that you could actually boost or put ad money behind. You don't have to post as often because we're not depending on the algorithm. We're depending on our money getting it into newsfeed. If you're going organic, you've got to pay the algorithm tax. You have to show the algorithm that you are showing up consistently. You have to produce enough content so that you have enough good content. So you're feeding, think of it like shoveling coal into the algorithm. If you stop shoveling, the algorithm's going to die out. If you only post once a week and you haven't gotten good at your posts yet, it may take months before you learn what is better because you're paying attention to the feedback that your audience is giving you. And the algorithm starts to notice that you're actually producing good content. So ideally, I would like to see people post at least once a day. I know that sounds daunting to a lot of people, but when you relax and stop trying to sell and learn to tell stories, and somebody comes in and buys a mattress and they're so ecstatic, and you say, "Hey, can I take a selfie with you for our social media?" You snap that selfie, write a real quick story about like, "Oh man, Carol just bought this mattress and I'm so excited for her because she's been having this back pain for 5 years. And I know this is going to make a huge difference for her. Like it was such a privilege to serve Cheryl today." And post that. That takes less than 5 minutes. It takes less than 5 minutes to do that. So I don't think daily is out of the is too much. I will say that the more you post, the more results you're going to get, but it's not double. So if you post twice a day, you don't get twice the amount of results. You'll get more, but you won't get twice the amount. So once a day is what I have found that keeps shoveling coal into that algorithm, keeps putting that content out there, helps the algorithm learn who your audience is and to distribute your post better. And then it keeps you consistent too. Because if you know that you're posting every day, then it's just on your list every day. This is the thing I need to do.
I think I know the answer to the next question because you kind of showed your hand on this, but I just want to put a point on it for my dealers. We want human faces in the picture. What about pets and babies?
Pets are great. Babies, that's up to you. But I still like to put them into context. So the pet at the shop, So I actually work with a dog grooming company. We have tested it. Pet alone, human with pet. Guess which one has won out over and over and over again?
Human with pet.
Human alone.
Human alone.
Human alone tends to win, but second best is human with pet. Pet alone tends to not do as well because it's out of context. For whatever reason, we contextualize human faces more than we contextualize anything else. So holding your pet is better. Holding a baby is better than just a picture of the pet, a picture of the baby. It's good mix of content. I love talking about how the pet is head of security or something like that. But
so holding the pet in the showroom on a bed that you want to feature, how about that?
I mean, you could, but it could just
Not
be
necessarily.
Because if you're using more selfies, they know who you are. Yeah. So it could just be you holding the pet and be like, this is my dog Carl, and Carl's head of security, and we bring Carl in on Tuesdays. Like, tell the story. So make it related to the product.
Nicholas has an additional question. In the beginning, should I use mattress related hashtags in my selfie post?
Don't use hashtags. Hashtags, if you pay attention on Facebook, hashtags have never been part of the culture. Nobody is searching for hashtags. AI and the algorithm knows exactly what your post is about. They don't need a hashtag to know that. Back in the day with Instagram, that's how they categorize things. But on Instagram, you could actually follow hashtags. It's not part of the culture. And until recently, you could not follow a hashtag at all on Facebook. And now ask yourself, who is following a hashtag on Facebook about mattresses? Probably nobody. The other thing to pay attention to is watch real people posting on Facebook and how many real people, real personal accounts are using hashtags in their posts. Almost nobody, unless they're doing it as like a joke, like hashtag winning or something like that. Almost nobody is using a hashtag. I think that hashtags look too businessy, too spammy. It tends to be what businesses do, and it's a big red flag to everybody of this is a business, this is an ad, ignore. It's going to make no difference. It makes no difference it doesn't get you more eyes. And I do think that it can hurt in that it looks like an ad and it looks spammy. Just leave them off. Tell human stories. You don't need them. You don't need them.
Glenn Higginbotham, do you like story or reels better? It's a great question.
It's an apples and oranges type thing. They both have their own purpose. I like reels a lot. The only caution I have with reels is realize that they can be distributed beyond your local area. So you may end up with people in California watching your reel. The point of a reel is not to get cheeky. It's not to be, I don't want you guys going viral. Viral, especially with a reel, viral is a problem. You'll get a bajillion people following your page that aren't from your local area. It kills your percentages in the algorithm without getting into it. But I like good reels of just like do a video of your face, like, hey, I wanted to show you this truck we just got in. Switch the video, show the truck, just make it like a post, like any of the posts that I talked about here, but in video form. Stories only go out. So reels can go out to people beyond your followers. Stories only go out to people that already follow you. I tend to, rather than creating unique content for the story, I share my post into the story. So it's kind of getting in front of the audience in a different way. If they're not seeing you in the feed, maybe they'll see you in a story, and it gives your post a second chance. So it's not an either or. It's both for different reasons.
Ali, I promised I'd ask you a question with 10 minutes left. And it's like we have 4 minutes left. So my apology. I am so glad everybody's getting a lot out of this. Glenn says, great show again. Please have her back for part 2. I know I was thinking the same thing, Glenn.
I'm down. Let's do it.
All right. Allie's up for it. So that's good.
Maybe collect their questions in advance and I can just go boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, we'll do that. We will figure that out. Was there a question that I should have asked you that I didn't?
I'm not sure about this. So we covered a lot of the basics as far as the algorithm. This is the stuff that I need people to know the most, is how the algorithm works and connect with your audience in a real human way. That is the core of everything that I teach. We talked about Facebook being the best platform for local businesses. If you're going to put your energy anywhere, put your energy there. We covered a lot. I'm not sure. The only other thing I would say is, you kind of introduced me as being focusing on that, the organic side. I will say that if time is a problem for you and you need help with this kind of stuff, this is the kind of stuff that I do. I actually do interviews with people. I sit down, interview you, get those stories out of you. I write the posts. I give you instructions on what types of photos to take so that I can match them up with posts. And if you're willing to run Facebook ads, that's the way to do it. If you've worked with agencies in the past and you haven't gotten any results from it, we call ours the small town famous strategy. It's how to become the most recognizable merchant, mattress seller in your area, that everybody knows who you are. And if everybody knows who you are, how could your business not grow? So that's what I do for people. If you are, again, you're not going to do the organic side and you're willing to put the ad money in, that's the powerhouse between the two. We get you well known in your area with these really good jackpot posts.
Oh, my Lord, Ali, our time has run out. I know you have a hard 1 o'clock. How do people get a hold of you? What is the best way to get a hold of Ali Thompson?
Yeah, so the website was up, morefromyourleads.com, I think is the URL on that one. There is a form that you can fill out there, book a time to talk with me. I'm always happy to do free Facebook page reviews. If you want me to just look at your page, give you some feedback on the types of posts that you're making and how you can improve them, that's the way to do it. I will say that I am completely unavailable next week. So if you book a time there, it will be the week after that. I'm moving my middle daughter to Madison, Wisconsin next week. So if you ever have any questions about Facebook, I'm not a hard pitch salesperson. I'll let you know if I can help you or if I can't help you. And I'm not there to close the sale. I just really like people. I really like helping people with Facebook because it makes such a huge difference in their approach. It can remove a lot of anxiety and help them feel more comfortable with the platform. and have more success with it. We're all here to make money. Like, let's make money. Let's use this thing to actually make money, not as a necessary evil. I have to post to social media, but let's use it as a tool to put more money in your pocket.
Thanks, Ali. I have to kick you out now. Everybody go forth and have fun and sell 1 million and get a hold of Ali. She is special, and we will have her on for part 2. So send me your questions to Pete at PetePrimeau.com. Pete at PetePrimeau.com. Questions for Ali 2.
Thank you so much, Pete. And thank you, everybody, for your great questions. That was fantastic.
You're welcome. Happy Memorial Day, everybody.